Welcome to the Krogen Express 24/7 virtual boat show. Today we're going to give you a tour of Krogen Express 5215. The highlights of this boat are that she's offered with a full warranty, full stem to stern warranty, because she has, in part because she has brand new engines, probably 50 hours on brand new 440 common rail Yanmars. She's had a number of other updates too, including newer electronics and some other things. So we're backing her with a 1-year stem to stern warranty. To get us started, I'm going to introduce you to Betsy, and Betsy's going to start you with a tour of the cockpit, and then we'll work our way inside. Take it away, Bets.
Come on in. Welcome. Glad you could make it with us today. First of all, let's talk about this awesome aft deck. It's one of my favorite things about the boat, because you can be here when it's sunny, like today, and get really good coverage, or when it's raining. And when you come in with your groceries, or maybe you have dogs, luggage or whatever, it's so easy to just step right over. You don't have to climb anything or lift your leg over anything.
Nice deep boarding gates, and from floating docks, it's perfect.
Absolutely, for floating docks, it's fabulous. And then you have 3 points of entry here on each side, so it doesn't matter which side of the dock you pull into. You can easily get on and off. And then you have your transom door here for access if you need it at a dock, or especially when you're using your dinghy when you're anchored out or at a mooring. So it's super easy, very convenient. We have a hot and cold shower right here, which is great for spraying off sandy feet or sandy dogs. Let's see, a lazarette down here. Come on in and we'll show you this. This is a great spot for storage. And it's all compartmentalized and dry. We put our lines and fenders, hoses, canvas.
There's virtually nothing mechanical, no mechanical equipment down there. So basically that's 100 square foot of storage, and the stringers compartmentalize it, so it's very easy to stay organized and keep things from moving around.
Absolutely.
As well.
And say you have bikes. That's a great space to put your bikes.
Folding bikes, fenders,
right.
lines, cleaning equipment, etc. Perfect for all of that.
And a nice deep space here, so you can have comfortable chairs or a bigger table if you'd like, and accommodate your guests who are here for dinner. And then these double doors open up, and you have a really nice open, entertaining space. And
we do love our doors. They're super nice, weather-tight doors. They dog down. They're really, it's a ship's quality kind of a door. And as Betsy said, the fact that they open so wide is terrific. Before we go inside, I do want to point out our services down here, Anthony. We have a cable master here with a 75-foot shore power cord. There's a single 50-amp service to run the boat. The all-important cable TV and phone inlet that nobody uses anymore, but we still have it here, and you'll get it on this boat. A 110 standard outlet, city water, dockside water inlet, and freshwater spray down as well. And the other thing I'll point out is we do side decks on both sides, and it's very easy, just 2 steps up and you're on the nice wide side decks. Later we'll walk the side decks, but nice to have access to both sides, and again, very easy for line handling. Mm-hmm. You want to take us inside?
Let's go inside, okay? Welcome to the Salon. We have, one of the really nice things we like about these boats is we have windows that open and with screens. So on a nice day where there's a breeze and you don't need air conditioning, but you want some ventilation, you can open the windows and get a nice cross breeze. And that's a really unusual feature on a boat this size. Most boats don't have that, so that's something we like to point out for our visitors.
The boat is really set up to run without a generator, and when you're on the hook, we have a wonderful 12 kilowatt Northern Lights, but the reality is we love all the ventilation, the ability to open the windows and get the breeze through the wide doors, and it is a little bit unique today.
Yeah, I love the cozy feel of this Salon. First of all, you have normal chairs. These happen to be stressless chairs. Everybody loves those. And you also have a nice array of bookshelves here to put books and tchotchkes and things that you want on them just to feel more homey. Our dining table also serves as a coffee table, and you can easily lift it up and down to accommodate your guests.
The leaves
And-
fold out as well. You could sit 6 there anyway.
Yeah,
comfortably.
absolutely. And also the table is very sturdy, so it won't move when you're underway. But you can adjust it to accommodate leg length. Which
Point
is
is, we
a nice
don't bolt
feature.
it down like many boats.
Absolutely.
Frankly, to some extent, that's a testament to the boat itself. We don't see the kind of rolling motions that make it necessary to bolt it down. It sits there just fine.
You could even pick it up and take it and eat on your aft deck if you'd like. The settee does have some storage underneath. It does not pull out, in case you were wondering, to pull into a bed. But if you take the back cushions off, you've got really the equivalent of a twin-size bed because it's long and deep. So
John and I can attest to the fact that it is sleepable even for a tall person. So,
Right.
as Betsy says, take the side or the back cushions off, and it's quite
And
roomy.
I've had some comfortable naps there myself. So anyway, another great thing you would want to know about this boat is the storage. Can't say enough about all the places that we have to put things. The TV is right here, and these little doors close in case you don't want to look at a black screen.
This boat does have a little bit newer TV, and it does have a true Bose surround sound system as well, a 5.1 Bose system.
I'm not going to open every cabinet, but I'll just give you an idea that the storage is abundant. There's a little drawer down here, for instance, where you can keep your chamois or your keys. And then in here you can put whatever you'd like to put.
DVDs or your favorite libations, maybe.
Or some wine, maybe. This can serve as either like kind of an office area or for storage, or you could use it as a bar because the ice maker is here, and then you can store drinks glasses down here if you like, and you function as a bar.
We've even known an owner or two to have their favorite alcoholic beverages in that
Yeah,
area.
or just whatever you'd like, sunscreen to put. There's a spot for everything, and even up here, this is a good spot to put oils and spices
maybe.
and things like that. Yep. So, whoever is the food prep person, or even the cleaner-upper of the food, will love this galley because, first of all, it's up and it's you're all part of the same room and all together when you're entertaining. Part of the action, and you can, with those double doors on to the aft deck, you can open up and everybody's hanging out together. And this is the other thing I love about this boat. Again, the window's open, so you have a nice breeze here. And you can even see what your neighbors are doing next door.
The round port lights are obviously a styling element too. They help to contribute to the classic story of the boat, or the classic look, for sure.
So that's how you
Very
close it and
traditional.
open it. Nice big sink with a sprayer, pull-out sprayer, so you can do lots of pots and pans in there. This is a propane 3-burner stove. This piece of granite comes down to cover up the burners and provide you with an additional counter space, which is really great when you're coming in with all your groceries. You can just plop them down and then proceed to put everything away.
Can't really have too much work surface in a galley, for
You
sure.
can't have too much storage.
That
So
either.
there's a place for everything. Drawers, sliders here, open here, microwave, all cabinets here. So this is just a very, very fabulous galley.
Nice spacious fridge there. I think you mentioned it's 14 cubic foot. It's a GE, and it's basically a household refrigerator.
Yeah, you can put a lot of
Super
things in there.
trouble-free, and with the ice maker down here, frankly, that's all storage in the freezer.
Right.
Let me point out the electrical panel to you. This is the main electrical panel. We have another one up in the pilot house that you'll see when we're up there. But this electrical panel is just very, very well done. The top part is the DC portion. The battery switches are all motorized, so you don't have to worry about going down and flipping switches. So shutting down the boat is very easy from here. All your 12-volt items here. Your main AC section is down here, combination of 240 and 120, and this is your inverter section. The boat has a 4 kilowatt inverter. It's a combination charger. It's a master volt combination charger and inverter, and it will run the refrigerator, the microwave, the ice maker, and all of your outlets as well. So again, aside from air conditioning and washing and drying clothes, pretty much everything else will run off of the inverter. Should we head up to the pilot house and have
but first,
a look?
let's point out
you have something else to another one of your favorite storage
one of my
spots.
favorite
Okay.
spots.
Let's
I have
not
my
miss
favorite
that.
spots. So this is really great. It's kind of awkward to show you here, but let me get my feet out of the way. I haven't had a pedicure in a while, so don't look at my feet. So anyway, this is a really great spot to put bottled water, a crock pot, wine, whatever you have that's kind of bulky storage.
Basically, there's storage everywhere. We under the side decks over here behind the stressless chairs. As Betsy mentioned, under the settee, you can even access the side decks on this side as well if you really are looking for some more places to stash stuff. You'll probably lose most of it, but there's plenty of space to store whatever you need on this boat. Let's head up to the pilot house and see if we can find John and have him tell us all about the pilot house. Why don't you come on up to the pilot house and we'll have a look and let John tell us all about what I'm guessing he'll say is his second favorite place to run the boat from. We love being up top, but we have a fabulous pilot house as well, and we'll let John tell us all about it.
Welcome everybody. Glad to have you on board. Welcome to the Navigational Nerve Center of the Krogen Express 52. You'll find a duplicate set of instruments both in the pilot house and the Flybridge. You've got a little more heftiness in the pilot house, larger screens. But as Bob said, it's a great place to run the boat. Kind of say if it's too hot, too cold, too wet, or too windy, here we are. Otherwise, I run from up top and enjoy that.
Well, so for John, that's about 95% of the time he finds a way to be 90?
75.
75.
75.
Okay. He's a diehard.
As with all true boats, you've got an actual chart table, 2 large chart drawers in order to store your paper charts and various other accoutrements that you've got on board. The electronic panel for the items that are involved with navigating the boat are in the pilot house. Bob's already shown you the main electrical panel down in the Salon, which contains the things that involve living on the boat. You've got your genset control, Kallenberg, air horn, whistle control.
Dual trumpet, fabulous air horn.
Feel like you're on a diesel train, so don't honk it if you don't mean it. But you can see the 2 large flat screen chart plotters, redundant depth sounder, your autopilot control. You also have a wireless autopilot control, so you don't have to be handling the wheel if you don't want to.
John, those chart plotters are new last year, so they're running Lighthouse 2, which is maybe 1 generation from the current, but they're
could be 3.
We find that Lighthouse 2 works better with this particular generation of equipment, but at any rate,
anyway, they are the G series, and
new last
as
year.
Bob says, was upgraded from the original equipment. You've got a Fusion stereo. You've got dual VHF radios, so you've got one in the pilot house, a separate one on the Flybridge for redundancy again. Engine controls and your stabilizer, ABT track stabilizer control there as well. Bow and stern thruster controls.
Side power.
Easy boat to handle. With the twin engines, you have great prop walk, and with the bow and stern thruster, it's really a piece of cake to dock the boat.
2 things, John, before you move on that I want to point out. This is a 2011 boat, but this has newer engines, so these displays are actually the same thing you would get in a brand new Krogen Express. They're a color digital display, and that control head also, which is a Yanmar Glendenning control head, are part of the new engine package that the boat has, so that's an upgrade over original.
There you go. Custom Cherry hand wheel. that the yard builds for us, and we think that it's a good example of the craftsmanship that they have available and use in constructing the rest of the boat as well.
It's a work of art.
Skid chair, high-low, rotates, turns around. Probably the finest helm chair that you can buy. They're very proud of them, so we're proud to have them. One of the features that we really like are the Dutch doors. We travel with dogs, occasionally with grandkids. So this allows us to have the top of the door open and get some nice breeze, but not worry about the dogs or the kids falling out and causing us to hit that man overboard button on the chart plotter here. The Pilothouse berth makes a nice single. Great place to sit after you are docked and watch the world go by and the boat's coming in and out of the harbor or the sunset or whatever suits your fancy that day. You can take the back off, it makes a great single, or the table will actually go down and then the base slides out and makes a double. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of good options. Storage underneath all the steps here as well. The yard does a super job of giving access to all available space.
If there's space, basically there's a drawer, a door, a hatch, some way to access it.
So here is an example of that where there's this little drawer over here. It's good for umbrellas. We have an owner that keeps art supplies in here.
Drumsticks maybe, for example.
Whatever, but it would obviously have been a lot easier for the yard just to run the veneer over this and you would never know that you were missing anything. But we don't. We give you access to that and you can take advantage of it. Half-hull model, which gives you a nice illustration of what the underbody of the Krogen Express looks like. We feel like that Jim Krogen was one of the master hull designers around, and when you have a semi-displacement hull, the idea is that you get the best of the planing hull as well as the best of the full displacement hulls and you mix them together. Depending on who's mixing the elixir, you could end up with the worst characteristics of each hull design. But we're very proud of and pleased with the performance that Jim's hull provides the Krogen Express, and I think that that's exhibited both in the speed that she's able to achieve as well as the efficiency, the seaworthiness, and general comfort that you'll enjoy operating the boat. I got about 5,500 hours running the Krogen Expresses over the last 17 years, so as we say, there's not much going to happen to you that hasn't already happened to me, and as a purchaser of the boat, that's a good thing for you to know.
What I would point out specifically, basically the forward half of the hull is full displacement, and the plumb stem makes the water line longer and helps the boat cut through the water. The longer water line helps with hull speed and overall efficiency. And as you can see, the flat sections aft are what allow the boat to overcome its hull speed and allow the boat to run all day long at 16 knots and maybe 20 top speed. The keel, it's a generous keel that is somewhat near a full-length keel and actually provides some protection for the props as well, which are the bottom point of the boat, of course, is the keel, so the props sit up from that just a little bit. I'd also like to point out the watch berth is nicely elevated, and so unlike sometimes you'll have a settee in the Pilothouse that is more conversational, it doesn't necessarily allow you to see where you're going, but I've got great views from up here, so underway, not only do I have a little work table and little snacks or whatever, but I can see where I'm going, and the crew can help the captain keep watch a little bit or as well for overnight runs.
Well, and on long runs, actually the visibility from the Pilothouse berth is superior to the helm chair, and so a lot of times I'll sit back there with the remote control and run the boat from back there on offshore runs and so on. Don't advise you going through the harbor that way, but it works well on the longer runs. The other thing on the hull shape, as Bob said, the aft sections are flat, but you've got the hard chine aft, which is going to give you more initial stability than you will find in a full displacement hull. So at rest, the boat is not going to roll like some full displacement hulls find themselves doing. Shall we go up to the Flybridge and check out?
I think we should. Let's move up there.
As we come up to the Flybridge, you'll notice that you've got inside access, which makes getting here safe and quick, much easier than crawling down ladders off the side of the boat, and particularly in rough weather, we find it comforting to have easy access like this. As you can see, visibility is exceptional on the Krogen Express Flybridge. Easy visibility where you can see the bow. On a lot of boats, you'll find that you can't even see the bow of the boat from the flybridge, and that can be a little disconcerting in close quarter maneuvering and situations like that. As we said, you've got a full duplication of the navigational electronics, a little smaller size, but still 2 plotters, still with your secondary depth sounder, VHF radio, and all engine controls, stabilizer controls, trim tabs, windlass control, horn control, it's all here.
Remote for your Fusion. So that Fusion control head that was in the Pilothouse also runs speakers up here as well.
Again, you got another STID chair to make your time on the water as comfortable as it can possibly be. L-shaped settee when the crew decides to join you, which you can see there's room for a gracious plenty of folks. 5215 has a grill as well, a propane grill that's available for getting you those tasty grilled dinners.
That's right. John does enjoy his grilling, so
been known to grill now and then.
Always will have a grill. It's great storage under the settee here. This part of the settee is great for canvas and other things. It's just open storage, and down right below where you're standing there is the propane locker, so you'll find your propane tanks there, and of course, as it should be, it's vented.
Bob brings up the canvas. The Krogen Express comes with a full canvas package. So you've got a canvas piece that covers your helm chair. You've got a separate piece that covers the Flybridge console, and that's what I put on when I'm cruising on a daily basis. If you're going to leave the boat for a while, we also provide you with a full cover that covers the entire Flybridge area and all of the varnished wood to prolong the life of your varnish. You also have a full cover for the tender, and you've got a cap rail cover for the varnished cap rail on the aft deck. And that really provides a lot of protection and lengthens the life of the varnish, as I said. Got a nice AB tender.
Let's work our way back there and get a close-up look at that.
25 horsepower Yamaha. Good get up and go. Again, you've got the 1,000-pound fully hydraulic steelhead davit, lift, luff, and rotation. So putting the boat in the water is about a 5-minute process.
And extension, John. It's the whole enchilada, baby.
And hydraulic extension.
That's actually this one. We went all out. We put a 40-horse Yamaha on this particular one. That's also that's a fabulous dink, as you can see. It's an AB Nautilus 4-seat console dink in beautiful shape. So you'll enjoy that, I'm sure.
This boat was one of the first ones with the winch mast system. So if you pop the stays, pull the pin, you're able to lay the mast back using an electric winch, which is housed in the settee, and basically makes what was a 2-man operation into a 1-person operation, and allows you to make the decision to put it down a little more easily. And you might do it in some times that you otherwise, wouldn't have done it. So we don't suggest running with the mast laid down, but if you need it to go down and get under a bridge and then pop it back up, it's a pretty simple process.
Just one last thing I'd like to point out up here, a small attention to detail, Anthony. If you can get the boarding or the little gate over there, you'll notice that we made a change at some point and moved the gate to the starboard side, so it's past the end of the crane there, the davit that has a retractable boom, and just allows for easier access to the dink for cleaning and other things, as opposed to having to climb over the dink. So just lots of little attention to items that are attention to detail that we think make a difference over the long run. What do you think, John? Should we head down below and continue the tour down there?
Let's go forward.
All right. So it's just a few easy steps from the Pilothouse down to the accommodations area. And down here you'll find 2 staterooms and 2 heads. This is the guest head or day head. There's a nice stand-up shower with a seat, a vacuum flush head, and granite countertops that carry over from the galley. So very comfortable second stateroom, or second head, I'm sorry. We'll see the master head in a moment. Across the way is the guest stateroom, which we'll go into in a second, and access to the engine room. As you can see, it's a terrific walk-in, stand-up engine room, and we'll tour that in a second. On this, here's where the washer-dryer is. It's a vented 240-volt dryer. It's a GE setup, and does really a terrific job at washing and drying clothes. Come on into the guest stateroom and let's have a look. This layout, this den office kind of combination guest stateroom is super popular with our owners. You have a desk with several drawers, great place for a laptop, a printer, storing some files if you're living on board for longer times. But you can also sleep 3 people in here. The settee is, the L settee pulls out and basically slides out on these slides down here, makes a double. And there's a Pullman berth up there that drops down as well for sleeping theoretically a third person. Good storage in here. You've got a locker. Got a locker over here, a hanging locker with some shelves as well. And an additional locker above that that's set up with both power and a cable TV outlet. So if you want to bring TV into this space, or maybe keep something like a dust buster in there, you've got an ability to keep it powered. More storage down below, some very big drawers and cubbies and shelving and so on. So it's a super comfortable guest stateroom. Let's head on into the master and see what that looks like. Follow me. So the highlight of the master, of course, is the center island queen berth. It is actually a standard queen berth, so you don't have to worry about custom sheets or blankets or anything. I also like the fact that the boat carries her beam very far forward, so you can see that I can actually get up here and change the sheets without having to move the mattress or climb up on the bed to get it done. I don't have to be a gymnast or a contortionist in order to get sheets on the boat. Plenty of headroom in this area, but even more where I'm standing. So I'm 6'4". We have about 7'4" plus of headroom here in the master, which is pretty exceptional. We love all the port lights and the overhead hatch as well, which make the space feel very light and airy. Storage, again, we'll continue with that theme. A nice dresser here with 6 big drawers. Hanging lockers on both sides. If you want to look this way, Anthony, this locker is short on the one side and taller on the other, but it's it's a good sized locker. 8 drawers over here, again, nice sized drawers. And here is some shelved storage for shoes or linens or whatever makes sense. The berth also comes up, and I'll see if the breaker's on. Looks like it is, and I won't take it all the way up for you, but comes up on a power lift. And a tremendous amount of storage underneath. You'll see the batteries are in there for the bow thruster bank, but beyond that, it's just wide open for storage. If you'll trade places with me, Anthony, we'll check out the head here, or more or less trade places with me. So again, here, a similar layout to the, frankly, to the other one. You've got almost an identical and spacious shower, granite countertops, and a nice vacuum flush head. 2 lockers, 3 lockers, one behind the mirror as well, and plenty of places for hanging towels and so on and so forth. So I think you'll find it's super comfortable. Why don't we head to the foredeck and have a look at some of the other outside spaces, and we'll call this tour a wrap. So it's just a couple steps down from the accommodations into the engine room, and I know we said we were going to see you next on the bow, but we couldn't pass up this great engine room and wanted to give you a quick overview of maybe the highlight of the boat for some people anyway. As you can see, it's a walk-in door with another one of the wonderful weather-tight doors. It's not quite 6'4". I'm 6'4", but I can stand almost straight up, so it's pretty spacious. Plenty of access around the front of the engines and outboard. This boat, as we said earlier, has brand new engines in it. These are 440 state-of-the-art current model common rail 6-cylinder diesels, and they have just around 50 hours, so they're good to go for the long haul. Want to point out a few features besides the space here, which again maybe is the best part, but we have a fuel transfer pump here that allows you to transfer fuel with a flip of the switch in either direction. Big rake horse for both engines, a reversal oil change system which will pull the oil in and out of both engines and both transmissions and the generator. Some great shelf storage here and as well as above the water tank there. You'll notice as we went past the water tank has a sight glass. I'm not seeing that there's much showing on the sight glass right now, but there's 185 gallons of cider, 370 total available for you. Back in the corner here, you can see the engine room camera, which this boat has. It's a Krogen Express standard, and a very big 240 volt blower or sucker, if you will. It pulls air in and exchanges the air in a hurry when you need it at the dock. We don't run with that, but when you get to the dock and you want to get down here and cool things off a little bit, that's the way to go. Back in this corner, Anthony, if you can circle there, are the track stabilizer. That's the holding or the reservoir tank for the oil, and the valve to the right of it a little bit to inboard. And our battery switch there, you can see, is a motorized battery switch below that tank, and so that's actually controlled from the main electrical panel, which is a nice feature. You don't have to be down here in the engine room to turn the batteries and disconnect the batteries. Let's kind of head back towards the aft end. I'll trade places with you so I can show the folks what we have back here. It's not quite stand-up in the aft end of the engine room, but there is a hatch over my head here, which is in the sole of the galley. And so when I'm working in this area, I've got pretty good space to work. I want to point out the AquaDrive system. It really a highlight of the boat as well. So the shafts drive into a thrust bearing here to this collar, and what that does is it allows the engines to be softer mounted because they're not responsible for managing the thrust from the boat. So it's a great system, and many say the best investment you can make in noise and vibration reduction. We have a couple more rake cores here for the genset, and behind me is the 12 kilowatt Northern Lights. The front panel comes off for most services, and the panel behind me to the port side here allows easy access to the impeller as well. So it's basically very easily serviced. So all in all, a terrific engine room, and on this particular boat with brand new engines, we've put that full warranty on. She's good to go for the long haul. Look forward to seeing you on the bow, and we'll finish this tour up. See you there. So many of our Krogen Express owners enjoy anchoring out, and certainly this boat is set up very well to do that as well. Always good to be able to drop the hook. We've got a nice spade-style anchor that we've had great success with, holds super well. The standard ground tackle is 50 feet of chain and 200 feet of line. I believe that's what this boat actually is equipped with. On the, you'll notice that the crane is off to the port side. That allows someone to add a second anchor. When you buy the boat, you can do that. Add the second anchor on the starboard side. Of course, foot pedals for the windlass are here. A saltwater washdown here, and on the other side is the freshwater washdown. Maxwell Liberty windlass. Nice ship's quality hatch for accessing the anchor locker. The anchor locker is compartmented, split with a divider down the center, so that you can separate your ground tackle if you make the decision to add a second anchor. Nice ladder to get down there, and plenty of room for an extra fender or some lines, your washdown hose, etc. It's ideal for all of that. Handling lines is super easy on a Krogen Express. Nice cleats on both sides here, of course, with chocks for managing the lines. And let's walk down, actually I want to walk down this side. I want to show you how easy it is to basically just go down the side decks. Nice and wide, nice high railings, very sturdy railings with brackets that wrap, and so they're the yard does a fabulous job building those for us. Nice handle here, and again, John mentioned earlier the Dutch doors. Finally, the spring cleats, you'll notice they're up in the toe rail. They're not in a place where they're going to hit your foot, where you have to worry about hitting your foot or your ankle as you walk by. Two nice spring cleats. Very easy to handle lines. It's only 2 steps from the cockpit all the way to the bow, and without being interfered with structural elements, fashion plates and so on. Very easy to bring a line from fore to aft and get the boat tied up or released when you're departing. Let's go in and finish this up, shall we? Well, thanks for coming aboard today and having a look at Krogen Express 5215. She's very much cruise ready. As we shared earlier, comes with a full stem to stern warranty and all the factory support we can give you, just the same as if you bought a brand new one. So if this is something that might be of interest to you, give us a call. You can reach me at 404-786-4514 or send me an email, bob@krogenexpress.com, and of course you can visit us 24/7 at krogenexpress.com. Look forward to seeing you soon and hearing from you when you get a chance. Have a terrific day. Bye-bye.